Take a second, and just listen. Not to my voice, but to the space between my words. If you find that silence uncomfortable, if your mind immediately tries to fill that gap with a thought, a worry, or a craving to check your phone, then you are exactly where you need to be. We live in a world designed to steal your attention. Every app, every notification, every bright light is a thief, and they are successfully robbing you of your greatest asset, your focus. You feel it, don't you? That constant, flickering energy. You have big dreams, you have goals that keep you up at night, but when the morning comes, your mind behaves like a restless bird. It lands on a branch for a moment, then flutters away to the next, and the next, leaving your work unfinished and your soul exhausted. Today, we are going to change that. Through the ancient story of the restless bird and the 3 veils of silence, we are going to learn how to train your mind to sit still, to be calm, and to be powerful. By the time this video ends, you won't just have heard a story. You will have felt a shift. If you are ready to stop being a spectator in your own life, if you are ready to reclaim your focus from the noise of the world, then settle in. Remove the distractions around you. Close the other tabs. Let's begin the process of mastering the bird within. Let's begin the mastery of the mind. Have you ever sat down in a quiet room, intending to do something meaningful, only to realize 20 minutes later that you've been staring at a wall, or worse, scrolling through a feed of things you don't even care about? Don't be hard on yourself. You aren't lazy. You aren't broken. You are simply living with a restless bird inside your chest. In the ancient teachings of the East, the mind is often compared to a bird that cannot find a branch to land on. It flutters. It chirps. It sees a shiny object in the distance and flies toward it, only to forget why it started flying in the first place. This is the story of how we learn to quiet that bird. This is the story of how we reclaim our lives from the noise. Think about the world we live in today. We are the first generation in human history to carry a distraction machine in our pockets. Every notification is a pebble thrown into the still lake of your mind. Every ding is a command for the restless bird to take flight. But imagine for a moment what you could achieve if that bird finally sat still. Imagine the clarity. Imagine the work you could produce if your focus was like a laser, cutting through the fog of daily life. Today, we are going to look at a story of a young man named Aris, who lived in a time before smartphones, but who faced the exact same war within himself that you face every single morning. Aris was a woodcarver by trade, but he was a poor one. Not because his hands lacked skill, but because his mind lacked a home. He would start carving a beautiful eagle, but halfway through, he would see a squirrel run past his workshop. He would drop his tools, follow the squirrel, and by the time he returned, the inspiration for the eagle was gone. His workshop was filled with half-finished dreams. Half-carved wings. Half-polished bows. One day, Aris sought out an old sage who lived on the edge of the cliffs. Aris asked, "Master, why is it that I have the desire to create, but I lack the power to finish?" The sage didn't answer with words. He pointed to a small, brightly colored bird trapped inside a large wicker cage. The bird was frantic. It would fly into the bars on the left, then immediately dive toward the bars on the right. It never stopped. It never sang. It only struggled. "That bird," the sage said, "is your attention. You think the cage is your problem. You think if you had more time, or more money, or better tools, the bird would be happy. But even if I opened this door, the bird would fly until it died of exhaustion because it does not know how to rest." To quiet the noise, the sage told Aris he must pass through the 3 veils of silence. The first veil, the silence of the hands. This is where most of us fail. We cannot keep our hands still. We reach for the phone. We adjust our chair. We grab a snack we aren't hungry for. The sage told Aris, "For 1 hour a day, do nothing. Do not carve. Do not walk. Sit with your hands open. If the bird in your mind wants to fly, let it fly, but do not let your hands follow. The second veil, the silence of the tongue. Noise isn't just what we hear, it's what we say. We talk to fill the void. We complain to avoid the work. By practicing silence, we stop feeding the restless bird with the energy of our own voice. The third veil, the silence of the eye. This is the hardest. The eye is the scout for the restless bird. It looks for the shiny object. It looks for the new thing. To quiet the eye, you must learn to look at one thing until it becomes the only thing in the world. For Aris, it was a single block of cedar wood. For you, it might be the breath in your lungs or the task on your screen. Aris practiced. For weeks, he felt like he was losing his mind. The restless bird screamed. It told him he was wasting time. It told him he was missing out on the world. But then, something miraculous happened. One Tuesday morning, the bird stopped hitting the bars. It landed on the center perch. It folded its wings. And for the first time, it began to sing. In that moment, Aris picked up his chisel. He didn't look at the clock. He didn't look at the door. He looked at the wood, and he saw the eagle hidden inside. He carved for 6 hours straight. He didn't feel hunger. He didn't feel tired. He was in the flow. He had moved past distraction and into mastery. When the sun set, Aris looked down. In front of him was the most beautiful carving the village had ever seen. The wings looked like they could catch the wind. The eyes looked like they could see into the soul. The sage visited him that evening. He looked at the eagle and then he looked at Aris. You see, the sage whispered, the noise didn't go away. The squirrels are still in the trees. The wind is still blowing. But the bird in your heart is finally at peace. And a peaceful bird can fly higher than a frantic one ever dreamed. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to look at your own life. What are the bars your mind is hitting? Is it the need for validation? Is it the fear of being bored? Is it the constant pull of the digital world? Remember Aris. Remember that the restless bird is not your enemy, it is just an untrained part of you. It needs a perch. It needs the 3 veils of silence. Starting tomorrow, actually, starting now, I want you to practice the silence of the hands. Put the phone down. Close the extra tabs. Sit for 5 minutes and just be. Let the bird flutter until it gets tired. Eventually, it will land. And when it lands, you will find that you are capable of things you never thought possible. You are not a victim of your distractions. You are the master of your attention. Quiet the noise. Find your focus. And let your soul sing. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this story helped you find a moment of peace, consider sharing it with someone who is struggling to find theirs. Until next time, keep your glass full and your mind still.